So classic mistake, guys, that you do all the time is you focus on two things. The reason why you're stuck with your SaaS, your startup, or your products, or your anything that you're building is because you come from two wrong angles. Angle number one is you come from the idea. So something that is in your head, that is in your mind, and you think, you know what, I'm just gonna build it, and people will come and they will buy. I failed my first 4 startups because of that dumb way of thinking. And mind you, my second startup was sponsored by Steve Ballmer when he was CEO of Microsoft. My fourth startup was godfathered by Elon Musk, and I nearly raised $1 million with him. And they all failed because I started from an idea instead of starting from a problem. The second thing I see a lot that you guys are doing is you're pitching features. Every time I do a present your startup or pitch your startup or pitch your SaaS or whatever, not everyone, okay, 80% of the folks that I see, you guys are explaining the stuff by saying, we are building an AI agentic system, blah, 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 with APIs, blah, 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 blah. And the reality is that these are features. And nobody normal in the market, especially if you're addressing regular businesses or regular people, and by regular people, I mean non-technical folks, nobody thinks features. Because if they knew about those features, they would probably have built themselves or find the right market for that. I don't see the comments anymore, so let me just get back to it. There you go. And so what you want to do is stop starting from ideas and stop pitching features, right? And so now people would say, okay, but if we don't start from ideas and if we don't talk about features, what do we talk about? So I'm going to answer these two things. Let's go. Let's get ready to rumble. Boom. And while I'm doing this, if you have any questions, if you want me to have a look at your startup, your SaaS, your business, stuff like that, let me know in the comments down below. Let's have a look at that. So what do we say? What do we talk about if we don't talk about ideas? We talk about problems. Okay? And there's a matrix for the problem that I use all the time. I focus on rude problems. Okay, what does RUDE stand for? It's an acronym, and it stands for recognized, urgent, deep, and emotional. A good problem to make money for is a RUDE problem. It's a problem that is recognized. That's the number one. That's the mandatory stuff. And bonus point if it's urgent, if it's deep, and if it's emotional. Recognized mean I can go to Google in the search bar and type a certain keywords about my problem and I would see the answers. Or I can go on YouTube and I can type how to fix problem, right? When you go to the doctor, you don't say, hey doctor, I need you to prescribe me A, B, C, D, right? When you go to the doctor, you say, hey doctor, I have a pain in my shoulder. You talk about the problem. And then it's up to the doctor to identify what is the best solution, the best feature to solve that problem. And it's the same thing in SaaS or startup or businesses. Talk about the problem so that when people read the problem, they think, I have this problem. And because you describe it well, people would assume that you have the right answer to that. And so instead of focusing on ideas, focus on problem. Instead of pitching features, pitch symptoms. Okay? Or pitch the problem. Pitch the problem or market the problem. Boom, boom, boom. There you go. And so if we get back to our example here, when I look at this landing page, it says your email organized by sender. That's a feature. That's not a problem. Symptoms, messy threads. That's a symptom. Focus on people, not noise. That is not exactly a symptom. It's slightly more a feature with probably between the lines, but it's not really a clear problem. So people, when they look at this beginning of the landing page, they must think, shit, that's exactly the problem I have. These guys have the solution. Let me reach out to them, or let me just continue paying you with attention. That was for today's session. Drop your questions in the comments and see you tomorrow. I do lives every single day of the week at 11:30 a.m. EST. I'm the Startup Advisor, and see you on the next one. Boom. The amazing advisor, leading every step I take.